Saveur Test Kitchen, and I'm here with Kelly Evans, and today we're talking about the new Saveur cookbook, The New Classics. So tell me, what is this cookbook? You have the magazine, and now there's a book. Tell me about it.
Well, for the 20th anniversary of the magazine, we thought, what better way to, commemorate this milestone in our careers here than with a cookbook? And we started off just putting together great classic recipes, but then the list kept growing and growing. We thought, well, we got to get beef stroganoff in there and Caesar salad, and then someone said, well, what about Elvis Presley's favorite pound cake? And then we're putting that in there. We've got to put Katharine Hepburn's brownies in there, and then we led ourselves to the recipe that we're going to make today.
When we talk about classic, this is like the ultimate American classic because it's hamburgers and it's Hemingway.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all know Hemingway as one of the greatest American writers of the 20th century, but he, like the rest of us, he just liked a good hamburger. When he was in the kitchen, I think he liked to explore and experiment a little bit more, kind of like the rest of us. He took a pretty simple recipe and just kept adding to it and adding to it and adding to it until we had this kind of meatloaf-like burger.
So in front of us, I mean, this is really a lot of ingredients in front of us. What is the overall theme of this hamburger? Because it's not your normal hamburger.
Exactly. Well, I think in all of the traveling that Hemingway did, he sort of picked up little bits and pieces along the way. There's pretty standard stuff in here like cheese and salt and pepper and grated onion. All those things contribute to like a really moist burger, of course. But then he goes and puts minced up ham, grated carrots, capers. This is the funny one to me. This is grated Granny Smith apple. He was definitely going for a lot of moisture, so he's got grated onion, the grated apple, he's got grated tomato. A really great ingredient that he adds to his burger is India relish. Now it's this vinegary, sugary, tart relish, kind of like a hamburger hot dog relish, but it's just got a little bit more oomph to it, and that adds a lot of like zesty flavor to it. He puts wine in his burger. He's got sage and then beau-monde seasoning. I suspect that there's cinnamon in there, and there's nutmeg, and there's pepper and garlic powder, and there's a lot of companies that make it, but the Spice Islands one was his favorite. So
it's like the ultimate American burger with like all of the American ingredients you could possibly think of.
It's like a kitchen sink burger for sure, and I don't know if he ever stopped, if the recipe that we found was even the end of his research. I mean, he could have, this has at least 20 ingredients in it, this burger.
All right, well, let's get started.
All right,
so where do we even begin?
I mean, we could start anywhere. I'm gonna crack an egg first, because that is sort of the binder that holds this whole beast together.
The one thing you can't skip.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of burgers have egg in them, but they don't necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be in there, but with all of this going on, you kind of want to have something in there to hold it together. Ham.
And what is the beef that we're using? Is there a particular, you want a certain level of fat, you want a certain type?
Yeah, well, Hemingway liked lean ground beef, so that's what we're using today. I mean, honestly, you're putting so much moisture into this that you're not really going to miss that extra fat. I mean, but you could always use just like regular chuck if you wanted to. So we've got grated onion. This is some peeled and grated tomato.
Okay.
A little bit of soy sauce because, why not?
Right.
Then here's the monster pile of carrots and capers and scallions and that grated funky apple and parsley and garlic and some cheddar cheese, because why not?
Great. It's just like throw it all in there.
Yeah, just like throw it all in there. It's a big mess, but we love it.
And again, are the amounts that important, or it's really just kind of throw it all in there? I mean, there are amounts, and obviously we have the recipe.
Yes, we have his recipe, but experiment with the amounts that you like. If you're like, I'm not crazy about onion, omit it, or just serve it on the burger like you would like normally as a topping. Here's that crazy India relish. That's so much fun. Red wine, because...
And that's a good dose of red wine compared to the size.
Hemingway was a bit of a drinker. And don't think that's a secret that I'm letting out of the bag. There's that beau-monde seasoning, so it's going to have a nice little aromatic spice quality to it. My hands are already dirty. I haven't even touched the meat. This is the ground sage. And then we're going to do... salt, because you just have to salt everything, because this is cooking, right? And black pepper.
Perfect.
So, the next thing and the only logical thing next to do is just get your hands in there. Yeah. So, just like with making any kind of burger or meatloaf, you don't want to overmix it. You don't want the meat to be tough when it cooks. And this is a wet hamburger. You could cook this till it was charcoal and it would still be juicy inside. Don't do that, of course, but this is pretty good right here. So, you know, basically now we're just gonna form it into patties, and we're gonna let it chill for a few minutes just so everything can sort of like combine a little bit, like come together.
So how big should these patties be?
Well, he makes about a 6-ounce patty, and that is, I mean, like, I'm just gonna eyeball it. You wanna make like a round patty normally, but then just like put a little indentation in the middle, because we've all heard that, you know, when you cook a hamburger, when the heat hits the patty, it's gonna bump up in the middle. But if you put that little indentation there, your burger will sort of come out a little on the flat, like perfect for the bun. So we're gonna just do that, put a little indentation in there. So yeah, we're gonna chill these, and then we're gonna fry these up.
So we've let our burgers chill a little bit, and now we're ready. What do you need in the pan to get started?
The skillet's like medium-high heat. There's a little bit of oil, just to get it going. I mean, the burger's so moist, you probably could do it in a non-stick skillet without any oil.
Right.
But Hemingway used a little bit of oil. So we're just gonna throw one patty down here, and that's the sound we like to hear, that sizzle. And we're just gonna let that go until it's super kind of golden brown on one side. You wanna develop that crust because, like I said, you've got all this juicy stuff in there. You wanna seal that in.
And so how long should it take before you flip?
It takes about 3 to 4 minutes before you want to flip it if you're on medium-high. I think we're ready to flip. Let's see. Let's try. Oop. It's delicate. So if you need to, just get a hand on it.
Get your hands in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Get your bun ready, and I'm going to throw a little bit of mayonnaise down just to give us a little base of operations here.
Give a little glue to the whole thing.
Absolutely. And then we'll throw the burger down, top it off with all of the goodies, and there you go. I mean, it's that cheese that's sticking to the pan.
Yeah.
But I think we are in good shape. So let's do a little bit of lettuce. We'll do some onion. Throw a little tomato on there if you would. We'll get a little mustard and some ketchup.
And did Hemingway specify, you know, did he like tomatoes and onions, or is this really just like, go for it?
He didn't, but I think that, you know, Hemingway was American. Even though he lived all over the world, I think he probably liked it just the way we do.
Well, thank you so much for teaching us how to make Hemingway's burger. And obviously, if you want more classic recipes, you can pick up the new Saveur cookbook. Thank you so much.
That's right. Thank you. Thanks for having me.